There's something about clowns that many people find horrific. In fact, so many people suffer from this fear that it's referred to as coulrophobia, a morbid fear of clowns. We traveled to the sleepy, desolate town of Tonopah, Nevada, to investigate what some people are calling the most terrifying motel in the world, the Clown Motel. This small motel in the middle of the desert is clown-themed, and hundreds of clowns adorn the walls of the rooms. Their soulless eyes watch your every move.
The motel's about 23 years old. It was built by a gentleman named Leroy David. In fact, Leroy's father is one of the 14 miners buried in the cemetery next door. It's on a very busy highway, a well-traveled highway, Highway 95.
When the Belmont Mine and mill burnt, 17 miners died in that fire. Leroy had this piece of property and he wanted to do something kind of in memory of his father, Clarence. And so he also had a collection of clowns at his house in Las Vegas. So he decided to put all the clowns to work that he had, and they came up with a theme, the idea of having the Clown Motel. Started out with a couple hundred clowns from his collection that he had, put them in the office here at the motel. In the last 20 years, I've tripled the collection. We now have between 600 and 700 clowns on display here on the shelves.
And if hundreds of clowns watching you sleep isn't terrifying enough, the real source of the paranormal activity reported comes from the early 1900s graveyard filled with bodies of those killed in a tragic mine fire, as well as multiple children who succumbed to the plague.
A lot of people got killed in the mines here in the early days in Tonopah. You got to realize that there were 15,000 people here then, and the mines were completely full, poor ventilation, no water. But a lot of the miners that died out in the, were buried in the cemetery. There's been some sightings of ghosts in the cemetery.
It was around like 9 at night, and I was going in the cemetery, and I got towards the kids and everything, and I turned around and I saw the little girl. She was by her grave, and she, like, you could see how she has this like white frilly dress on and everything.
The Clown Motel was built almost directly on top of this graveyard. Could these be the spirits that haunt the grounds of the Clown Motel?
On a cold February morning in 1911, 17 men lost their lives in the now infamous Belmont Mine disaster of the town's largest mine shafts. As the miners worked deep underground, smoke began to fill the passages without warning. The small confines of the mine shaft and the air passing through ignited the blaze, which spread so fast that it stranded men in different levels of the mine. Without air, the men would be doomed and soon perish of smoke inhalation or of the fire now sweeping the tunnels. Out of the smoke, a hero emerged. William Murphy, known as Big Bill, jumped to action and ran into the fire. He saved several men's lives by getting them out of the burning mine shaft. Haggard and charred, Big Bill returned to save more of his friends, but he never emerged. When rescuers finally got the blaze under control, they entered to find 17 dead miners, one of which was the mutilated and almost decapitated Big Bill. On his last attempt into the mine, he was hit with a falling hoist and instantly killed. The other miners were found with their lips to cracks in the floor and walls of the shaft, desperately trying to get one last breath of fresh air.
These miners, including Big Bill, are buried less than 20 feet from the Clown Motel's front door.
In 1905, a mysterious plague decimated the population of the town of Tonopah and was officially dubbed the Tonopah Plague by the Southern California practitioner. As the year of the plague went on, many men, women, and children were infected. From the time a victim felt the initial chills of the infection, the average person lived only 72 hours before dying with a burning fever and lungs filled with fluid. The mystery plague was officially diagnosed as pleuropneumonia, but it has never been explained how this small Nevada mining town was indicted by so many cases at one time. Many claim it was due to something that came from deep within the mines. Others speculated that the ground was sacred and the town was cursed by the Native American tribes that used to inhabit the lands now being torn apart by mining.
All the bodies of those who perished in this mysterious plague are also buried a stone's throw away from the guest rooms at the Clown Motel. Could the spirits of the multiple souls who died in tragic and mysterious ways be haunting the Clown Motel? Guests report hearing noises, being touched, and mysterious shadows appearing in and around the motel. Some who have dared to enter the graveyard at night have heard babies crying, mysterious voices, and have seen dark shapes moving in and out of grave sites. With so much tragedy amongst those buried here, the added horror of a motel themed with hundreds of terrifying clown paintings, dolls, and figurines, the Clown Motel has earned its place as the scariest motel in the world.